SSC and equivalent examinations of 2027 will begin on January the 7th, while HSC and equivalent examinations on June the 6th, informs Education Minister. Dr. Zubaida Rahman opens Disabled People's Healthcare and Rehabilitation Program Shishu Shorgo project at Korail Slum. Commerce Minister urges to boost Chinese investment in Bangladesh, terming as the biggest trade partner. Information and Broadcasting Minister calls for building accountable, skilled and technology-based administrative culture by coming out of the tendency to see government and the state as one. International Crimes Tribunal instructs to send former Minister Dr. Deepu Moni, journalists Muzammil Babu and Farzana Rupa to jail by shown arrest at Chapla Chottor killing case. Notification issued announcing 7-day Eid-ul-Azha holiday from May 25th to 31st. Bilateral talks between Chinese President Xi Jinping and US President Donald Trump held in Beijing. Trade, technology, Taiwan and Iran issues discussed. An ICC announces Bangladesh's Nahid Rana as Best Player of April. Assalamu alaikum. This is Shamim Khan, welcoming all to News at 10. Those were the headlines. We now move on to the news in details. Prime Minister Tariq Rahman chaired a meeting on easing traffic congestion and modernizing traffic management in the capital city. The meeting was held at the Public Administration Meeting Room of the Cabinet Division at the Bangladesh Secretariat this evening. Road Transport and Bridges, Railways and Shipping Minister Sheikh Rabiul Alam, State Minister Habibur Rashid, Dhaka South City Corporation DSCC Administrator Muhammad Abdul Salam, Dhaka North City Corporation DNCC Administrator Muhammad Shafiqul Islam Khan and lawmaker Shamsur Rahman Shimul Bishash were present at the meeting. This was the second meeting chaired by Prime Minister Tariq Rahman on resolving Dhaka's traffic congestion and improving traffic management. The government has announced a significant change in the schedule of Secondary School Certificate (SSC) and Higher Secondary Certificate (HSC) examinations 2027 in a bid to save students valuable academic time. Under the new schedule, the SSC examinations will begin on January the 7th, 2027, while HSC examinations will start on June the 6th, 2027. Education Minister Dr. A.N.M. Ehsanul Haq Milon announced the revised schedules at a press conference held at the Ministry of Education this afternoon. He said the examination routines have already been finalized and will be published soon. Speaking about reducing session congestion and saving academic time, Education Minister said students are currently losing a significant amount of valuable time in preparing for examinations and waiting for results. Referring to overseas higher education applications, the minister said the government plans to complete HSC examinations within June and July so that students can better align with international admission cycles and semester schedules. He also said public universities would be urged through the University Grants Commission (UGC) to coordinate admission processes so that higher education admissions can begin within 2 months of publication of results. A new Shishu Shorgo model program has been launched for the first time in Dhaka's Coral slum to provide healthcare and rehabilitation services for children with special needs and persons with disabilities. The program was launched under an initiative of the Ministry of Health and Family Welfare. Renowned cardiologist and Zia Rahman Foundation Vice President Dr. Zubaida Rahman inaugurated the program as chief guest. Speaking at the event, Zubaida Rahman said physical or mental disabilities should never become a barrier to a child's future. She said these children can one day become an inspiration for the society and the country. State Minister for Health Dr. M.A. Mohit, State Minister for Local Government Mir Shahi Alam, State Minister of Planning Junaid Saki, State Minister for Social Welfare Farzana Sharmin Putul, and the Prime Minister's Special Assistant on Health Dr. S.M. Ziauddin Haider, among others, were present at the time. Speakers at the event stressed the need for coordinated efforts to ensure healthcare, rehabilitation, and a dignified life for children with disabilities. They said disabled children should be treated as valuable members of the society, not as a burden. State Minister for Health Dr. M.A. Mohit said Bangladesh has at least 35 lakh children with disabilities, many of whom still do not receive proper services. He said trained volunteers under Shishu Shorgo model would identify children with disabilities and bring them under healthcare, therapy and rehabilitation services. Officials also announced plans to launch 10 centers across the country under the program. These centers will provide healthcare, registration, therapy and assistive support services for children with disabilities. Mentioning China as Bangladesh's largest trading partner, Commerce Minister Khondokar Abdul Muqtadir urged China to increase investment in Bangladesh. Speaking at the opening ceremony of Bangladesh-China Green Textile Expo at ICCB in the capital, the minister said stronger Chinese investment could help reduce the trade gap between the two countries. Jointly organized by Sever International Limited and Chinese Enterprises Association in Bangladesh, the three-day expo aims to promote environment-friendly development in Bangladesh's garment sector and strengthen bilateral trade ties. Praising China's advanced technology, the Commerce Minister said many sectors in China are now operated through AI and modern technologies. He sought Chinese technological support for Bangladesh's jute industry. Khondokar Abdul Muqtadir noted that Bangladesh's exports to China remain much lower than its imports from the country and said greater Chinese investment could help improve export trade. He also expressed hope for continued cooperation from the Chinese embassy. Chinese Ambassador in Dhaka Yao Wen highlighted plans for new trade agreements between the two countries and assured China's support in expanding bilateral trade relations with Bangladesh's new government. The expo brought together leading textile and garment companies, investors, technology experts, and business representatives from both Bangladesh and China. Local entrepreneurs at the event also called for expanding export opportunities to the Chinese market. Information and Broadcasting Minister Zahiruddin Shopun called upon the government employees to make efforts in building an efficient, accountable and technology-driven administration to fulfill public expectations and their well-being. The minister said this at a view exchange meeting in the capital today. Zahiruddin Shopun said the long-standing tendency to view the government and the state as the same entity must be overcome. The minister said the state is not the personal device of any individual or government. Rather, will of people is the main driving force behind running the state. No government can survive if it becomes detached from people's aspirations, said the minister. Talking to officials, Information and Broadcasting Minister said everyone must work sincerely to fulfill people's welfare-oriented pledges of the government. At the same time, he added, any activity must not be carried out by going outside the Constitution, law, or the regulations. The minister further said suspicion may be created if there is no transparency in information. So all programs of the ministry should contain transparency, accountability, and technology-based management, he added. Senior officials of various departments and units of the ministry, including Information Secretary Mahbooba Farzana, were present. The Buddhist Cultural Festival, organized for the first time at TSC by the Department of Pali and Buddhist Studies and Center for Buddhist Heritage and Culture, featured various elements of Buddhist heritage, art, and harmony. The event began with captivating cultural dance performances. The festival was inaugurated by Cultural Affairs Minister Nitai Roy Chaudhary and Chattogram Hill Tracts Affairs Minister Deepan Dewan. In a speech as chief guest, Cultural Affairs Minister Nitai Roy Chaudhary said that the current government is working to advance education and culture under the leadership of Prime Minister Tariq Rahman. He further said, although the sovereignty of the country belongs to the people, according to the Constitution, people's voting rights had been taken away in the past. However, through 2026 election, people regained that sovereignty. As special guest, Chattogram Hill Tracts Affairs Minister Deepan Dewan said, if people follow principles and practices of Buddhism, violence and hatred would disappear from the society and peace would be established in the country. Dr. A.B.M. Ubaidul Islam and Dean of the Faculty of Arts, Muhammad Abul Kalam Sharkar, also spoke at the event. Senior officials of the Buddhist Welfare Trust and university students were present on the occasion. To mark the festival, stalls featuring jewelry, food, and traditional clothing of hill communities were set up around the TSC premises. Visitors enjoyed exploring various attractions after the program concluded. Dhaka North City Corporation Administrator Shafiqul Islam Khan said City Corporation is committed to ensuring rapid removal of sacrificial animal waste and providing residents with a clean, odor-free city during Eid-ul-Azha. He made the remarks today while inaugurating a training program for imams and meat processors organized by Dhaka North City Corporation ahead of the upcoming holy Eid-ul-Azha. The DNCC administrator said that City Corporation's own workforce would be used to quickly clean the waste from roads and drains within a short time. After the administrator formally inaugurated the training program, officials of Dhaka North City Corporation were present on the occasion. International Crimes Tribunal kept the verdict pending in the case against Jashud President Hassanul Haqqinu over crimes against humanity related to the killing of 6 people in Kushtia during July mass uprising following conclusion of the closing arguments. Today, Tribunal 2, led by Justice Nazrul Islam Chaudhary, issued the order after hearing the final arguments. In the case, the prosecution demanded appropriate punishment against Hassanul Haqqinu on 7 charges framed against him. Meanwhile, at Chapla Chottor massacre case, the tribunal ordered former Minister Dr. Deepu Muni, journalist Muzammil Babu and Farzana Rupa to be shown arrested and sent to jail. Tribunal 1, led by Justice Ghulam Murtuza Mojumdar, issued the order today. At the same time, the tribunal directed them to appear again on the previously scheduled date of June the 7th. Earlier in the morning, former Minister Dr. Deepu Muni, journalist Muzammil Babu and Farzana Rupa were produced before the International Crimes Tribunal in connection with the case. According to the prosecution of the International Crimes Tribunal, following Shapla Chottor killings, then Ekattu TV journalist Farzana Rupa allegedly attempted to divert the attention from the truth through the program Show Me Korun. The prosecution claims that besides her, former Foreign Minister Dr. Deepu Muni and then Managing Director Ekattu TV Muzammil Babu were also involved in the planned effort. The investigation agency has so far confirmed that 58 people were killed in 4 districts, including Dhaka, in connection with Shapla Chottur incident. A total of 30 people, including ousted Prime Minister Sheikh Hasina, have been accused in the case. 6 people, including former State Minister Shamsul Haq Tugu, former Inspector General of Police Shahidul Haq, and former military officer Ziaul Ahsan, had already been arrested in the case earlier. On the other hand, Tribunal 2 set June the 4th as the next date for witness testimony in crimes against humanity case against former DMP Commissioner Habibur Rahman and 4 others over killing of 2 people, including shooting of Amir Hussain while he was hanging from a cornice in Rampura during July mass uprising. The government has announced a week-long holiday on the occasion of Eid-ul-Azha from May the 25th to 31st May. The Public Administration Ministry issued the notification under Rules of Business, which describes revisions of allocation of business among different ministries and divisions ahead of the festival in view of the long holiday period, saying all offices would remain open on Saturday on May the 23rd, 2026 and on the subsequent day. The notification said the Supreme Court and Bangladesh Bank would issue required directives on judicial activities and banking operations during the festival. Now, international news.